realized that the human population writ large is too stupid to tell the difference between that and reality.
Oh yeah, all the people that post on their Facebook page of, "Oh my God, did you see this
Yeah.
article?"
And at what point does it
Yeah.
start becoming disinformation? And I understand that that's not their, like, I get the joke and it's good satire. Like satire is one of those fine lines where like good satire is very hard to parse out from reality. But at the same time, it's 2025 and we already have a loose enough grip on the truth as it is.
Just like at what point at what point does satire become like misinformation kind of?
Yeah. Yeah, just like people what is that? Poe's law, I think, is Poe's law has destroyed sarcasm on social media because you could say something really sarcastic about a topic, but Poe's law says that that extreme that you've represented, someone believes that, or like a group of people believes that crazy out there thing, and so people watching just assume you're one of them instead of seeing it as sarcasm.
Right. Well, the thing is, I feel like at least people like us, like we know, but that's because we have media literacy. Whereas like people,
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't even. I would stop falling into the trap of I know the difference and just assume you don't, and read into it anyway.
Be suspicious of everything.
Everything, including your own senses.
So something that I do too is
It's exhausting.
so I'll admit I do have like a Twitter profile. But the only reason I do is because, like, let's say I find a YouTuber and I'll watch one of their videos, and it's like, they didn't really talk about much, but like I want to make sure they're not sus. If they have a Twitter profile, I'll go to it and then I'll look at who they're following.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll be like, oh, okay, so I'll know not to follow this person, or because I have Shinigami eyes, which shows me like people who support trans rights versus people who don't. And
pretty good.
Because people who don't appear red and people who do appear green.
You can't see people's likes on Twitter anymore, right?
I think you can. It's just like you have to go to replies, I think.
Oh, because like that used to be the way you know if someone's a Nazi. Just go to their likes.
Well, usually I can tell just based on like who they're following at this point.
Yeah.
It's like if it's only like the big like 2 or 3, then it's like, oh yeah, okay, I don't want to deal with like this person. Because there was a person I was watching like an author person. He had some really good points about writing a book, and I was like, oh okay. And I went to his Twitter thing, and it was like all the usual suspects that like would be, oh okay, this person's a piece of shit. So I was like, well darn.
Yeah, I think my buddy that runs the Star Wars Hub has been on a rail about Star Wars theory because he's a massive like Andrew Tate,
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah. His it's become a whole thing, and what's insane is, and I wouldn't have known about this if Monty hadn't suggested it, but there's a really good podcast called Behind the Bastards, and all of their podcasts are on YouTube as well, and they did like I don't know, like a 4-part series or something on Andrew Tate, and it's really alarming the stranglehold that ethos has kind of launched, like the stranglehold they have on like 13 to 16-year-old boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yep, they really took advantage of basically how vulnerable that population can be.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the whole Gamergate thing was. It was just like,
well, that was kind of Gamergate. All that other shit is kind of like, that's like early shit. That was like laying the groundwork for where we are now.
Yeah.
That shit back then, like back in the day, if someone gave me the fucking Infinity Gauntlet, it was like you get one snap That's where I'd go, and I'd snap all those motherfuckers away and fix everything.
Right. It's like, you know what? Maybe Thanos had some good. Maybe Thanos
No,
had
Sean.
No.
Thanos did not have good ideas, and I was joking when I had said I would just like blindly murder people.
Oh, I mean, honestly, at this point, like, I'm almost for it, but like, it's got to be like, you know, the right people who go away.
I know it's my mind versus
Dennis,
my heart, right? So like in my mind, I'm a humanist, and the one guiding principle in my life is that human well-being is better than human suffering, and I make all the decisions that I make in my life with morality and everything else based on that one precept, that human well-being is better than human suffering. So like that's in my brain, but in my heart, sometimes things happen to bad people, and I'm like, I wouldn't personally have done that, but I'm not sad they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, you know how Mussolini's granddaughter is like a fascist now and stuff. Like,
I don't know if I know much about Mussolini's granddaughter.
Yeah, she like supports like the fascist party and whatnot over there. And it's just kind of like, you know what? Maybe the Bolsheviks had the right idea with the Romanovs. Maybe they should have done that to Mussolini's family.
I'm sure there's political nuance there that isn't being represented in that statement too. Anyway, it is 7:30, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I feel bad feeling this way. I just, you know.
I started the whole conversation, so you don't have to beat yourself up about it. In fact, we can all blame it on me.
Okay, we will.
Well, speaking about you, Daniel, what do you have going on for the week?
On the channel, we're not doing our podcast this week. We're taking a week off, and then a week from Wednesday, I think Chris and I are going to build a Star Wars Lego kit, and then chat about Star Wars, and like if there's like news Star Wars things that are happening, we're going to do that. And at some point this summer, it's our goal. We are going to do our Star Wars Rogue One watch along, and then we're going to do solo a Star Wars story as well at some point. I'm not sure when, but we're on hiatus for a week. We're coming back next week. There will be no stream tomorrow as I am performing with the Decatur Municipal Band as a soloist. However, on Thursday through Saturday, we'll be doing Battlefront. And then, of course, Gungans and Dragons a week from today at around 7:30.
Hell yeah.
Just a note for next week, we probably will not be having Gungans and Dragons, as I have a job interview that I have to attend in person in Scotland, which will require a bit of flight shenanigans.
So when you say probably, you mean it's definitely not? Or is there failure criteria for this? Like, when will we know for sure it's not happening?
No, I mean, it would be rude for me to do it on the plane, even if I have the internet, right? That would be against the social construct. So, yeah.
I say fuck them. I think everyone who rides a plane are dumbasses anyway, so that's their fault.
Well, the flight leaves at 6:45. I would say we'll probably not play, but who knows? Maybe I'll have a miracle and I'll be able to connect to the internet, or a miracle for you guys and my plane is delayed and I could just play. I could just, GM from the lounge.
So why don't we just for sure plan on not having it then?
What I'm hearing is most likely Monster Prom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we should definitely do that.
Also, you can play.
We can enjoy tonight's game, and everybody, welcome to Gungans and Dragons, Pirates of Drinax edition. Last time when we left off, your group managed a bit of diplomacy. I feel you need another bit of applause for that. No guns really involved, and you managed to grab Misery's company, Krish's ship, back for your little pirate fleet, which is at the moment.
You could have made that sound a little less condescending. Our little pirate fleet.
I'm only one person, and it is a relatively small pirate fleet. Especially one of the ships doesn't even have any weapons.
Also, it's a privateer fleet.
I see. Well, but before we go any further, let's start off with introductions. I am Richard. I am the game master of the game. I help direct the various NPCs and events that occur throughout the game and resolve the different roles that the players do as they go forward. Why don't we start with April?
Yes, I'm April. I play Andrew. She is a spacer from Drinax, who is now the executive officer of the now Gani McClure.
Hell yes.
And she is very happy that Krish is going back to his own ship.
All right. Let's move on now to Daniel.
Okay, Richard, we're supposed to do these in alphabetical order. I am. Hold on a second. Hold on. I have to find the right one. I am playing Akluna, who is now the captain of the Gani McClure in a stunning, shocking turn of events that saw most of our former captain blown into tiny little atoms. So I've gone from crippled spy to crippled captain.
All right. Monty?
I play Sharky Sparks, a Vogger, which is a humanoid wolf man that comes from a backwater dust bowl of a planet. And he's a little bit of an idiot. Just a little bit. He's stupid, but he's not stupid, you know?
I think he's optimistic. He's kind of optimistic, I feel.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, he's not stupid. His mom had him tested.
Were you in the gifted program, Sharky?
No, I specifically got tested to see if I was stupid or not.
Oh, that was a joke, by the way. I wasn't. That was. I just realized how that might have sounded. I was making fun of the fact that everyone seems to have been in the gifted program when they were a kid, like in a good way. Mm-hmm. Everyone I met in college was like, "Yeah, I was in the gifted program." And I'm pretty sure.
Gifted program.
Yeah, and I think they just put us all in the gifted program just so we have something to say.
Yeah, I was in special ed too.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, I thought that's what the gifted program
It's
was.
not what I meant, and I would that's the record I was trying to set clear. Was that is not what I was making fun of. Absolutely not what I was making fun of.
Oh, I didn't think you were.
In fact, special education is extraordinarily important and underfunded in America, and special education teachers are fucking heroes.
They are. Okay. So let's go with Wenton now.
I'm Wenton. I play Sven Bjorn, a human. I always want to say salami, and I know that that's not right, but Soleimani. There we go.
Can it just be salami?
It would be easier to
Soleimani, a humanoid salami.
That can be your call sign.
Yeah, that would be a interesting thing to explain to anybody coming to the stream new. I am the chief of security now. Former Marine, former merchant Marine, and after our last encounter, I'm pretty suspicious of a few things going on with some of our new members, and gonna talk to the captain and first officer about that.
Shoot them.
And speaking about new people for the crew, Sean, time to introduce yourself and your new character.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say something too. When you talked about the gifted program, and it brought me up to Andor.
How?
The amount of people who are willfully or just not understanding the whole Kinderblock thing. It's like, no, she was in the Republic Kinderblock, but she calls it an Imperial Kinderblock because she supports the Empire.
Wasn't that supposed to sound like the Nazi Kinder something?
I mean, it might be, yeah.
I thought that's what that meant, because didn't the Nazis have something that started with that? Also, we've said the word Nazi a lot in this stream, and I'm pretty sure YouTube's going to be pissed off at us.
Yeah, I did not see that coming personally.
So Sean, yes, your character.
Yeah, sorry for that tangent. I just had to get that off my chest. Anyway, though, yeah, my character is a based on a Drukari. His name is Urian Rakarth. Again, any Drukari fans who get the reference, congrats. I appreciate it. But yeah, he's a special forces elf guy who is also
Darien.
Darien, who's also a very powerful psyker.
Psycho.
There we go.
Psyker's a Warhammer thing. I forgot the name of the one in this.
All right, and so we are now leaving off. Krish went with his crew to kind of come up with an inventory in the log, and he is coming back. You've managed to get back to your own ship, and you were fast forwarding a couple of hours, and he is back at the ship because he has a proposal for the captain for the Redthane assault.
Okay. Point of order. Were we not gonna drop off and shop somewhere on the way back?
Oh, if you were, let me know.
Because April, didn't you need a gun?
Yeah.
But remember, you're here for.
It's a very non-committal noise you just made.
Yeah, we can. Well, we have a couple days that we're going to be here waiting on the ship, so.
Oh, okay.
Take care of that.
Because your M drives are literally being like have already been yanked out of your ship. And
They're on blocks
installed
out in the front yard.
Yeah, so you couldn't fly out now if you wanted to.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everyone had the opportunity to refill their shit while we're.
Unless you all wanted to just like pile into Krish's ship or pile into Sean's ship.
That sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, neither of those sounds like good plans.
But yeah, so Krish is here with his plan, and you've also gotten messages from Veronica that she wants to put forward a plan, and you also got a message from Engineer that they want to put forward a plan.
Okay, and we're on the ship now?
Yes.
All right, so Andrew and I will see Krish first.
Okay. When Krish comes in, you can see that
and
Veronica
Vim
is actually okay. Vim is there as well. He will actually look at you and say, "Oh, did you like my report, Captain?"
I did. I read the entire thing. It's very thorough. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so we now have Krish waiting outside, and Veronica is also outside. And when the door opens, you see Krish kind of like standing there, a little bit awkward for a moment, as like Veronica has her arms crossed and is kind of like glaring at him.
Come in.
Yes.
Is there?
Thank you.
What is happening out here?
Well, it seems you have some other crew members out here who want to give their feedback about your the assault on Redthane.
Okay. Well, let's do it one at a time. Go ahead.
Okay, Veronica actually said, "Is like, oh, could I listen in, Captain, as well? Just
yeah.
I'm going to give my plan as well."
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, they'll both step in, and right before the door closes, from the ceiling, skittling on the ceiling, Engineer comes in as well.
Do we have enough chairs?
Oh, he's actually just kind of stomped himself on the ceiling and is just looking down at you.
I mean for everyone else. I wasn't expecting a party in the captain's quarters. Let's assume we have enough chairs.
Vim will run and basically grab a bunch of folding chairs and be back within a minute or two.
You're a legend.
I would have been standing outside in the hallway also.
Yeah, I guess we might as well have Sven in here. Jesus. Everyone come into the captain's quarters. Sharky, you want to come hang out in the captain's quarters?
Sure.
You know what? Let's do this on the bridge. I think this will be more comfortable on the bridge.
You relocate things to the bridge, and everyone who is interested ends up coming. So when everybody's settled, Krish will kind of look at you and say, "Well, Captain, you've got the prize within reach. Let me offer a Vogger's perspective on things. Redthane's not just a pirate. He's a wounded predator trying to play alpha in a territory that's stopped tolerating him. So, I have a few different plans here. It's a multi-step plan. Number 1, divide and deceive. Now, I see this new ship that we have access to, not only my own, but this Bloody Elf seems to be a stealth ship, but its profile also looks like that of a merchant vessel. So, I think if we send the Bloody Elf ahead, broadcasting an emergency distress signal on a merchant band, have it be a misjumped scout calling for help. We can load it with plausible evidence, falsified manifests, leaking radiation signatures, erratic drive patterns, and Redthane, he's an opportunistic bastard. He'll likely send a boarding party or approach in case the vessel's easy salvage. So, while he closes in, my ship, the Misery's Company, will enter through a secondary vector on a silent approach, engines completely dead, flanking his retreat vector. Now, when he comes for this investigation or hails the courier, that's when you, using Barbie, do a mini jump. Well, no, sorry. Not a mini jump per se, but have your engines come in hot where we'll have you basically in a stealth position and burn towards the target. So, and in this case, Redthane's ship will either still be landed or it will be airborne and just heading towards the ship. So he'll be vulnerable at this moment for you either shooting him down as he's going from the surface to orbit, or you can flank him and then try to force the surrender or get an easy kill on him.
How many men does Redthane have under his command?
His ship should have minimum 12.
Oh, what's the tech level of the people on the ship?
The tech level should generally be anywhere from 13 to 15.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to be on the ship when they take me, right?
Well,
I think his plan means that we're not going to let it get to that, right?
Yes, we probably shouldn't let it get to the point where they're actually boarding his ship. We just want to make it look like a tempting target.
Yeah, so we lure him, cut off his escape, and then shut him down.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you guys want, I mean, to really destabilize things, I could, get on his ship and do things from there if you need me to.
Well, Captain, let me take point with this, with Misery's Company. I owe Redthane a reckoning, and I mean to collect. You bring the hammer, I'll be your fangs.
Okay, so I want to make sure I've characterized this correctly. So he's parked somewhere on the ground, right? His ship is, and it's just one ship.
On the moon, yes.
Okay, so we get him airborne. You cut off his escape route, and we more or less get him with his pants down.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That I was leaning one of two ways. Before that was one of my ideas.
And Veronica will raise her hand.
1 second, Veronica. So this is already kind of playing to a feeling that I had. So I like this. Veronica, what do you have?
Well, Captain, if Krish wants to bait the wolf, fine, but I don't like giving Redthane any chance to run. He's a cornered bastard, and that makes him dangerous. We take the initiative. No drama, no speeches. We hit him hard, fast, and loud.
Yeah, I gotta go with Veronica on this one.
So here's my idea. The assumptions from what I've read up, Redthane is beached on a moon. He's likely got scouts watching the sky and limited heat shielding on his ship. His ship won't be able to achieve safe orbit quickly without exposing itself. At the moment, we should.
Can you say that last? Sorry, can you say that last sentence again?
His ship will likely not be able to achieve safe orbit quickly without exposing itself. We should have full vector access and superior orbital firepower. My plan would be this. First, Phase 1, a high-altitude lockdown. The Ganymedean enters low orbit over the methane plains of the moon and maintaining a full electromagnetic blanket to blind outbound transmissions. Then have the Bloody Elf establish a comms jamming perimeter with triangulated burst suppression, no calls for help, no automated pings, nothing. Phase 2, shock and descent. Misery's company descends in a ballistic blackout using the moon's methane storms as cover. No lights, no pings. I lead the drop team personally. Me, Leonard, Sven, and whichever of the rookies wants to learn how a real Drinaxian fights wars. And the objective? Breach and seize the ship on the ground. Disengage his power relays, subdue his bridge crew, and grab Redthane alive. And then, Phase 3, as a contingency, if the ship lifts off, the Ganymedean switches from jamming to guns. The Barbette disables her drive. If she flees, the courier jumps after with Barbie plotting the trail. But here's the thing. No negotiation, no hails, just a turret lock and a hard demand to surrender. If he doesn't, vaporize the bastard. This isn't about theatrics, this is about setting a tone. Redthane crossed a line with us, with Silverhand. If Drinax is going to rule the Reach again, then pirates need to know there are worse things than kings. There's us.
This is Veronica speaking.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
good plan.
Okay.
And then clicking from a corner, Engineer comes crawling around one of the consoles and raises his hand. We do not need to burn the wolf. We fold the petals. He is already inside. Small pressure, open great doors. I believe we should do a covert operation. One that subverts Redthane's plan before it begins. We should disable his systems quietly. Collapse his ship's functionality. No shots. No violence.
Yeah, we've got the stealth for it too.
He actually then crawls right up to you, up into your lap, Ukluna, and passes you a data pad. You see that he has written out a whole plan here. It's written out like this. Phase 1, silent mapping. It looks like Engineer has been going through all of the sensor data that you guys had collected on your previous planets. And Engineer has managed to pinpoint that Redthane's ship's reactor has been cycling irregularly, likely due to power regulation issues. It produces a brief spike every 93 minutes. During that window, thermal masking is degraded. He's also found out that his ship's secondary comms dish is a Model T11 unit with known feedback vulnerability when exposed to multi-vector tight beam EM resonance. He has also apparently found out about Misery's company. Misery's company contains a docking override relay built originally apparently, when Engineer worked on Misery's company over 30 years ago. And it's capable of silently overriding the airlock of Redthane's ship, as long as they are within a distance of 30 meters or less. Also, apparently, he has been doing surreptitious scans of Urian's battle dress, and has discovered his fancy battle dress contains a tech level 16 remote interface tap capable of connecting to standard Far Trader core processors, if the code is known.
I take it that that's probably something that will surprise most of us, right?
Yes, but so far you're just reading this off the pad. Engineer claims to have derived the boot keys from Urian's armor signature while observing him breathing. His plan for Phase 2, insertion and infection. The Bloody Elf delivers a single passenger, Urian, in battle dress, ejected via a high-altitude stealth capsule. The capsule impacts 1 kilometer from the enemy ship. Urian makes an approach under cloak of night. Engineer programs an onboard pulse from the Ganymecore to cycle the backup comms just as Urian reaches the hull. The objective: connect to Janel Tosk's computer through the battle dress and remotely disable maneuver, sensors, and life support, one at a time. Transmit auto-looped docking permissions to Misery's company, which lands quietly nearby. At this point, Veronica's team could walk aboard unopposed. Phase 3, outcome management. Redthane may panic. Engineer has prepared a secondary suggestion. Leak carbon dioxide into his bridge, lowers logic function, makes him talkative. If Redthane attempts to destroy the ship, Urian can lock him out of the command node first. No shot needs to be fired. As Engineer clocks that you've finished reading, he says, "Quiet gardens bloom better than noisy ones. The wolf will not bark if his teeth fall out in his sleep."
God, I like that plan a lot too. Veronica. Never mind. Ignore us. Forget that I said that. Does anyone else have any suggestions for the plan?
Do I get to kill things?
I think that will depend on the situation and the operation we choose.
Because I like... Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Because I really like Veronica's plan. You know...
Well, I think, I mean, either Veronica or Engineer, and this is, I'm going to be discussing this with our senior staff here in a bit, but Engineer kind of builds in some of Veronica's plan anyway.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders and says, "I might have witnessed her writing down some of her plan." She glares at him.
Oh, you're just a helpful little guy, aren't you? I'm gonna pet him.
He will kind of dance out of your range as you try to pet him.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I need to talk to Andrew, Vim, and Sven. So regardless of what we end up choosing, these are 3 extraordinarily solid plans. I think they all have really good components to them, and I think any of them could be successful on their own. So thank you for the detail and the work you put into it. And we're going to discuss, and then we're going to make a final decision on this. Any other questions?
Laughs and says, "Well, thanks for hearing me out, Captain. In the meantime, let me know what the plan's going to be. I'm going to head back to my ship and make sure everything is still, going forward in the right way."
Is the ship the way you remembered it when you left?
Some of the smells changed, so I still need to sort some things out.
Well, you might want to order what's his name to take a shower. When we spoke to him, he was fucking rank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was one of the first ever humans that I really worked with. So for a while, I thought you all smelled like that.
we try not to, actually. All right, Vim, Sven, and Andrew in the captain's quarters. Everyone else at your own leisure.
Urian's gonna go talk with Veronica, actually. He's gonna just. I mean, who do you want to go first? Do you want to go first?
You can go. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna go up to Veronica and be like, "Hey, sorry for kind of like, getting off on the wrong foot when we first met." He says, and he's gonna extend his hand out, shake her hand.
She'll look down, and then shake it. She'll say, "All right, I just need you to prove yourself, and well, it looks like this next mission will give you ample opportunities."
I know, I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Also, like I said, that was a solid plan. I think it's really good.
Well, working for the Drinaxian Marines, we never had much in the way of equipment, so we always had to make sure our plans were going to work out and use what we had on hand.
Gotcha. So, if you're interested, because I'm always up to learn like new techniques and stuff. We could swap like different like military styles.
She will nod slowly and say, "I'm always willing to learn something new, especially when it comes to military tactics. I'm unfamiliar with your people largely."
Gotcha. Yeah,
Is she staring covetously at his battle dress?
More like with a little bit of suspicion. Like, you can get the impression that like his armor is a little bit too fancy and shiny for her.
We're all a little suspicious of Urian's battle dress, actually, I think. That's the fanciest shit I've ever seen.
Right.
And you would have also noted in that report engineer put in is like, wait a second, tech level 16?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you were talking about him analyzing the battle dress, it's like, damn. We just kill Urian, sell his battle dress, and we'll all retire.
Yeah, please don't. I think Richard would actually be mad because he put a lot of work into this character too.
What a crazy turn that would be in this campaign.
Oh, and as you guys are leaving to your mission, Vim will actually lean in towards you and say, "Captain, for your talk, you might want to invite Sharky Sparks, just because he will be your pilot, so he might have some insight."
I'm gonna be real honest with you, Vim.
He is capable of doing.
I entirely forgot that Sharky was here because Sharky was indisposed in the bathroom last week.
Oh yes, I'm acutely aware of that, Captain, since I had to help clean up.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, and please pass on my apologies to Sharky, and that mistake will not be made again.
Yes. Oh, so FYI, Monty, your character had some gastrointestinal issues last week that explained his absence.
It's the space food. It's so different from the normal barely eating any food that Sharky's used to. So he's been adjusting to having a full stomach.
I did note your illness in my log. In addition to sneaking in a Steven Seagal film reference somewhere in the log, and if anyone finds it, I'll give you $1. If you can tell me what movie.
You'll Venmo $1?
$1, yes. God is my witness, Monty, I will.
Spend 36 cents to Venmo $1.
Yes. I'll send you $1.36. That way it comes off on my end and not yours. All right. Also, sorry, I really did forget that Sharky was around this week. It totally slipped my mind.
No worries. I wanted to make sure that Monty was involved as well.
It should have. He should have been. That was my mistake.
Sharky did have plans to go to the cockpit and have a conversation with the ship, but since he's being remembered, I guess there'll be another time for that.
All right. So, or we're alone now.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to have Vim at the door, or is Vim going to be part of this?
No, he's part of the meeting.
Okay.
He's in this shit too.
Did you say we're alone now in character?
No, that was out of character. I was confirming that like Yurian wasn't, trolling around the corner listening to us.
No, he's kind of off like prepping for stuff. Kind of like he's actually off kind of like practicing with a sword.
Is he going back to his own ship to start to prep it?
Oh yes, actually he'll do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you guys remember? I don't know. It was like a couple of days ago, in game days. Before the captain died, we had this ritzy dinner with Admiral Darrican. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that terrible pudding.
Yes. I didn't say anything at the time because the captain was taking point, and I wasn't really sure what to make of it, but the read that I got on him felt very strange, and I went out of my way to record his voice on my Shrieker box, which is a device I have that allows me to perfectly synthesize another person's voice. I did it as it was more of an insurance thing, just so I had it if I needed it, but it was mostly born out of the fact that something about his story with Redthane isn't, like, I don't even know how to explain it. He seemed shifty, like, what's a good way to say this? He seemed perfectly okay with us to murder Redthane, but didn't want to say it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, he seemed pretty lofty about, if anything should ever happen to him, that would be really too bad, but, don't go out and murder anyone, kind of a thing. And it's been on my mind since this meeting. And with the captain dying and everything, we lost track of it a little bit. But there's something about it that's weird to me. And I have this recording of Darrican's voice. I don't know if we ever use it or if we ever need it for anything. But I would think that it's in our best interest to take Redthane alive, because I'm curious to know if we could get him to talk about Darrican. Did anyone else get impressions like that at that dinner?
I picked up a little bit of that. And that kind of leads into what I was wanting to talk about later, but I'll wait for everybody else to put in their input also.
About what?
Sharky's going to raise his hand.
You don't have to raise your hand, Sharky.
Oh, by the way, I retconned. Sharky has a soft Southern accent because he grew up in a water hick town.
I'm very much looking forward to hearing it.
Captain, I wasn't here for that big fancy dinner, but are there going to be more of those, and will I be invited to them?
You will be invited to every dinner that I'm invited to.
Okay, great. Thanks. Just checking.
I imagine that we'll have at least one more meeting with Derek, and whether or not there's a dinner, that remains to be seen. But
Under the impression he didn't want to see us again.
That's right. why don't we use this voice to lure in this Red Dale guy?
The thought had crossed my mind. Andrew, what did you say?
I don't know. I was under the impression that Redthane didn't want to see us again
Mhm.
anytime soon.
Redthane or Darrican?
Derek.
Derek.
Oh, I am saying that name right? Because I have it written
You-
down.
You are.
Okay.
And once Andrew mentions it, you do recall that at the dinner, Derrican asked you as a favor, after he gave you this information to him, basically your favor back to him, to leave the thief system and let things cool down for at least 6 months.
I thought it was a year, but yeah.
It could be a year. I'll go back in my notes, but yeah.
So he doesn't want he doesn't want the people who potentially would kill Redthane to be around.
That's what he said.
That is to me also suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want
Some
this.
politics to play.
Yeah, it could be like I'm not sure what it is. It just my instinct right now is that there's more to the Derek and Redthane thing than we know. Whether or not it's anything we can use, that's entirely separate from that. I'm curious about it, and if we can have a chat with him about it, I would like to do that. So, which more or less means I want to avoid any action that will kill him. So, what do you guys think of these plans? Does anyone have any leanings in general? Because I got to tell you, I like Engineer's plan a lot.
Engineer's plan is cleaner. Veronica's plan has the better probability of success.
I mean, I think that both their plans together. I mean, because Veronica's plan would be the backup, right? Like if everything goes to shit, we just send in Veronica, Leonard, probably you, and whoever else, Urian. Why do you think the engineer's plan isn't as viable as far as execution?
Too many opportunities for something to go wrong. There's too much dependency on the stealth, and all you need when you're dealing in a stealth operation is one mistake, and your stealth operation is immediate combat.
To be fair, Urian's stealth capability, based on what I'm reading on this data pad, is stunning. It's crazy.
Does he have the ability to do all of the things that... Is he capable of doing all of the things that Engineer is expecting him to do is another question.
Looking down at the pad for Ukluna, when Andrew asks that, you can see that a lot of this is it's utilizing the interface that is within Urian's suit. It looks like a lot of it, given the proper codes, Engineer would be able to remotely operate once Urian interfaces.
Oh, I misunderstood that.
So it's as much on Engineer as it is on Urian. So they're kind of splitting the workload a little bit. I'm also thinking about this from the perspective of which of these options risks the fewest lives, and Engineer's plan only risks Urian's.
So somewhere Urian's ears are burning.
It only risks... Okay, so... Yes, Urian has to get within a kilometer of the ship. As long as he's not... If he's detected, then there would be an opportunity for us to intercept the ship if it were to take off and go after him. So the harm to him would be less. If they send the ship after him, it's difficult to fire a ship at one person on the ground. especially if we are launching 1 to 2 more ships to harass them to do so. Either plan that involves taking the ship on the ground or in atmosphere, I think, enhance our ability to control the environment. If we take him in space, there's a more opportunity that they can reach the outer limits and jump away.
And we would have to board his ship too, right?
Ultimately, we have to board his ship, or destroy it entirely.
Yeah, and I guess
if we want to take him alive, we're going to have to board his ship.
Right, and I think that boarding the ship is less risky on the surface than it is in space.
Agreed.
That's fair.
So where are you falling down on this then, Andrew? Like, where are you?
I'm not falling down on it. Like I said,
not falling down. Where are you? Which direction is your head tilting? Is what I meant.
I do like Veronica's plan for all of the reasons that she stated, to shock and awe and to send a message. But if I were to admit it, Engineer's plan is probably a bit more sound and a bit more like I said, a bit more sound.
Okay. Sven?
Like I said, I still kind of think that Veronica's plan has the better opportunity of success, but Engineer's plan is certainly cleaner. The other thing that I would still point out is just in terms of we've got new people on the team that we don't know how much we trust. We have existing people on the ship that have been here longer than I have that you and Andrew have both suggested you don't know how much you trust them either. I think that needs to be factored into consideration.
Okay. Vim, what's your thought on this?
Well, sir, all 3 plans seem pretty well disposed to the crews that we have involved. Krish's plan seems to me like it would, while on the surface potentially weaker, it would be our first real instance of testing how we work as a fleet as opposed to 3 separate crews. So I think there could possibly be some insight that we could draw from that operation, and the operation does seem to be more like a standard pirating, privateering operation, which could be valuable for future operations that we conduct on behalf of Drinax. Otherwise, I do admit, Engineer's plan did surprise me quite a bit. He's always been quite enigmatic to me, but I guess that's part of his drone nature. Though it does seem terribly risky for Urian in case something goes wrong.
Based on what I've observed from Urian so far, he might prefer it that way.
But that's my opinion, Captain. I must admit, it could be that my own sort of leanings towards learning new things and, developing new strategies might be leaning me towards Krish and the opportunities to see how well we interact with Misery's company's crew while having an operation.
That's not lost on me, by the way. That's a really good point. The thing is, I'm just I'm wondering maybe if what's a good phrase? Fuck. What? Someone read my mind.
Okay.
Like the shut the fuck up, Sean. The stakes are fairly high for this. And we don't really have any really have any practice as a fleet yet. And I would like to practice that in a lower stress environment. Like just some regular privateering where we don't have to worry. Because I really am, like, I think that I like Krish's plan. The problem is that it's the one that is most likely to get Redthane killed.
I could see that, Captain.
Okay, so right now I'm on the fence between Veronica and Engineer, and God, that Engineer's plan really is solid, and I like it a lot. I'm gonna page Yuri into the captain's quarters.
Okay. So you will first get a little automatic notification that he is off of the ship and on the Bloody Elf.
Oh, did you leave?
And then it'll get rerouted, and then you see an image of him on his ship's bridge.
This works.
Yurian, how's your ship?
It's good. How's yours?
No, it's the same as when you left.
Gotcha.
So you were here for this briefing for these plans. You may recall that Engineer's plan featured you as a pretty important part of the plan that might also bring you considerably more risk than it would the rest of the crew.
Right, I get it. I understand. I'm kind of, this is like my prove it moment, right?
I don't like the idea of you doing it just to prove yourself. I mean, you're right. It is a good chance to kind of show us what you're made of. But also, it very well could be that you're the best person for the job, and it's going to require a lot of stealth and a lot of dicking around with computers.
Gotcha.
Is that
right? Well, plus, I'm new, so it's better to risk me than say, some of your more established crew. I get it.
Well, I want to make sure we're clear on something. Every member of the crew's life is important. And just I'm not in a hurry to get you killed just because you're the newest person here.
Right. No, I get it. I appreciate it, Captain. I just meant just logically it makes sense that you'd send the new guy.
And you're okay with that? You're okay for that amount of risk?
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm not it's pretty normal for me, honestly.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, cool, yeah. So just real quick question here then.
Yeah.
So how long, I guess, will I have until backup, if that makes sense?
You mean if shit hits the fan, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know that Engineer has a backup plan to incapacitate Redthane if things go badly.
That part of that plan is him incapacitating Redthane is what he wants to do once he has control of once they have control of the ship.
Oh, was that not his backup thing?
I don't know. I thought that that once if they're able to blind and control the ship, then they can release. That he can play games with the life support system and change the atmospheric mix and make people sleepy.
So what do we do if we do if Yuri's stealth is compromised or if they can't break into the systems?
Those are good questions. Maybe we would have to if they're unable to break into the systems, then we would have to resort to if they are unable to break into the system and he's undiscovered, then we would be able to resort to a direct action against the ship while it is landed. If he's detected and they're scrambled, it's a similar route but we're a little bit more behind on time. It's if their ship takes off versus it being on the ground.
So, I mean, what, the Ganymakura would be in orbit, waiting for the op to happen, and like we'd be waiting there to catch him. Richard, can you remind me what's on the data pad, like what engineers like contingency is,
or what he says about the positioning of the ships?
Yeah.
So it starts off the Dagger class courier delivers a single passenger Urian in battle dress, ejected via high altitude stealth capsule. The capsule impacts 1 kilometer from the ship. Urian makes an approach under the cloak of night. Engineer then programs an onboard pulse from the Ganymakura in orbit to cycle the ship's backup comms just as Urian reaches the hull.
What is the purpose of that?
That is to basically confuse any sort of sensors on Redthane ship.
And we'd be using our sensor suite for that, right? Our EWS.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then as long as he gets inside, then he would be utilizing his special computer on his battle dress to then, with engineers' special program, to remotely disable maneuver, sensors, and life support one at a time. And then, at the same time, through the battle dress, transmit auto-looped docking permissions to Misery's company, which would land quietly nearby. And once all these systems are taken, Veronica's team walking aboard unopposed.
So we would have Veronica's team on Misery's company?
Yes.
Okay.
How close are they to the ship? How close are they to Redthane ship?
Ideally, they'd be able to land next to it.
Oh, so they're okay. So they're not on the ground to start.
Yeah, I imagine that it's once they've confirmed the sensors have been taken down.
So
land Misery's company.
So worst case scenario, Urian is found out, has to survive for long enough for Veronica's team to get there.
Worst case, yes.
What are the chances of Redthane even trying to take off with an intruder on his ship?
That's a bit of an unknown. One of the first systems engineer lists as disabling is the maneuver drive, though, the M drive. So since that's the first thing that gets taken down, that would stop it from taking off.
Okay. All right. I like engineers' plan, and I like Veronica's plan as a backup for Yuri getting found out. Yeah, I like engineers' plan. I think it's a good use of our resources too. This is it's a very specifically targeted operation that kind of fixes a lot of problems. We're killing two birds or three birds with one stone, really. I guess Sharky won't get any fancy flying unless they get in the air. Who's the assault team, by the way? It's what, Veronica, Sven?
Veronica, Sven, Leonard, and whoever else whoever else wants to tag along to be shown a good time, I guess.
Didn't we include Barbie in that one?
Well, Barbie's our
No.
astrogator. I don't think Barbie even fights, does she? Really?
I don't know. Never seen her fight.
Who's
Never
our?
even seen her with a weapon in her hand.
Who's our? So Leonard's one of our gunners. Who's our other gunner?
Veronica.
Veronica.
So both of our gunners are off the ship.
That is an issue.
Yeah.
Though in this case, your ship is more of a support in orbit.
Yeah. Well, I guess we still have the Misery's Company too.
Does the Misery's Company crew have any gunners that we could borrow on Gonny McClure?
Sure they do.
That's the thing is we do have better weapons than the Gunny McClure does, or than Misery's Company does, and we have a better long range weapon.
Vim raises his hand.
Vim,
Captain.
you don't have to raise your hand.
Sorry. Yes. I'm unfamiliar with Urian's specs for his ship, but potentially, could we try to kill like two birds with one stone a little bit? And maybe leave Misery's Company in orbit as well, and possibly still send Urian out in his capsule to start his operation, but then what if Sharky was aboard the ship, piloting it, and then we had the strike team aboard Urian's ship at the same time as well? So Urian lands first, and then the strike team lands on Urian's ship because it has stealth capabilities, right?
That would get the assault team in without being seen.
Just an idea.
No, that's a good idea though.
Yeah.
Sharky has a little worried look on his face now.
You ever flown a stealth ship before, Sharky?
Do you think this would require special flashy flying?
Hopefully not. Hopefully that we have blinded the ship and all you have to do is land safely next to them.
Hopefully you're so stealthy that we don't even see what kind of fancy or not fancy flying you're doing.
Of course, if you are somehow detected on the way in, then you will definitely have to avoid incoming fire. And if we send...
Just the face is looking worse and more terrified as you guys keep going.
How many gunners on the Misery's Company?
They have 2 turrets. I don't know how many gunners they have.
If they have some redundancy on their team, they'll probably have at least 4 people who could be decent at gunning.
Do they have that redundancy?
To ask Krish.
Yeah, I guess. Can I text Krish real quick and ask him?
Contacting him, he says he has probably about at least 4. If he stretched it, maybe 5 or 6 of his crew could.
Could be gunners.
Decent at doing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how about? Oh, one other question before what?
He just says, yeah, with all the jumps and all the time, just like hanging around in space waiting for a freighter to come in. Sometimes, all there is to do is just shoot at space junk.
Fair enough.
Multiple systems of redundancy and all that.
What is, by the way, where is Redthane? Like what location?
He is a jump 1 away on a moon.
And they're not guarded by the creepy ladies,
No.
are they? Okay.
No.
What are
Their
the?
no.
influence only extends to this system.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Their influence only extends to their system.
Okay. What do we know about the local law enforcement?
It's an uninhabited moon.
Okay. Okay, that's actually really good. That answers. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. Let me know if there are any big holes in this logic. We reassign 2 gunners from the Misery's company. I'll order them to reassign to the Gani McCore. We form a strike team. That's Veronica, Sven, Leonard,
Urian?
Urian's already there.
You're already going to be
Yeah,
on the you're going to
Urian-
already be on the ground.
Okay.
I should probably go.
Yeah, God, that's risky though. Fuck. But
Well-
we kind of need you to. In fact,
Well, we're coming up short.
you'd be in command. Yeah, I think you're right. So it's got to be.
Coming up short on capable borders if there is indeed a firefight.
Yep, I agree. So
Or a firefight against degraded people.
so
Even against degraded people.
Andrew, Veronica, Sven, Leonard. Who am I missing? Andrew, Veronica, Sven, Leonard.
Urian?
Urian's already there. Urian.
Right, sorry.
I think that's who we have.
Vim starts to raise his hand, stops, and then salutes you, Okluna, and says, "Sir, would you like me to go along, sir?"
That's a lot of risk, Vim.
I'm willing to risk it all for the ship, sir.
Well, how old is Vim fight again?
Vim is 18.
His what now?
So what did you say?
How
Yeah, I was.
how well does Vim fight again?
He does not have a capable suit of armor. He's been using an emergency vac suit. He's been training with small arms, I believe. He's been in space long enough.
And the blade with Leonard.
Yeah, Vim,
Yeah.
I can't risk putting you there.
He kind of deflates a bit, but then says, "Yes, sir."
Would Krish be willing to go on with the strike team?
Chris would be piloting
I'm
the.
sure he would be more than willing to go on with the strike team.
Vim says,
I
"But
guess
with
we don't need the Misery's company so much for this, do we?
I mean, if we're going to send everybody down in the Bloody Elf, then the other 2 ships would stay in orbit as contingencies.
I'm sure they've got someone who. Surely they have someone who can stay in command until the app's over. The question is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we pack 5 people onto the Bloody Elf? And also, I mean, so Sharky is landing the ship, which also means he can be on the assault team.
And now his face is just as deflated as a poor little dog face can get.
I'm just saying, I'm just looking at that giant fucking gun you've got.
plasma carbine."
That's a 6-man assault team. That is one hell of a contingency. So here's my plan. This is what I'm thinking. We reassign gunners from Misery's company.
We probably only need 1. We're probably not going to be firing guns, and we'll either be in a missile engagement or in a gun engagement.
Okay.
If we're trying to catch a ship in atmosphere, it will definitely be a gun engagement. So we only need 1 gunner.
All right. So we say 1 gunner that isn't. Ideally, 1 gunner who they don't need to fly the ship.
Well, they've been flying the ship without Chris Krish for the last few days, so
Okay, so we'll say
apparently they have that pecking order figured out without him.
Though Vim will say, though, isn't he reasserting himself as a captain at the moment? Shouldn't we have him stick with his ship just so we can make sure that the other crew doesn't, well,
take over the ship again.
turn tail? Yeah.
Decide to do something stupid. That's a good point.
Yeah. Also, I mean, why don't we just have Krish assign some of his own personnel to the assault team?
That's probably a better choice.
Yeah, we'll keep Krish on the ship. He'll lend us a gunner, and then he'll put a man on the assault team.
He could put Captain Smelly on the assault team.
Yeah, we can have that dumbass running first if we need.
I'm sure the people on the assault team will love his smell.
Hey.
Yeah, let's be cramped up in a small ship with Captain Smelly. We have access. It'll be fine.
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
Due to all this talking and everything, can Urian have regained some psychic points?
So at this point, it will have been at least 3 hours. Let's say it's been 5 hours, so you have regained 3 points.
Okay, cool. So I'm 6 then.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, I like this.
Vim at this point will also say, also, Captain, I'm not really familiar all that much with Urian's ship's capabilities, its technology, or anything of the sort.
I don't think anyone
given
is.
the fact that our ship now has at least a day and a quarter until it's ready to fly off. Should we have an inspection of his ship?
Yes, we should. I mean, that would be good. That would be good because it would give us. It would be good. It would give us a really good idea of what we're working with as an asset. Also, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do with this ship, by the way, guys, because he can only jump one system at a time, and he has to refuel in between every jump.
Yeah, we don't have the ability to bring him with us. I think that he should probably make arrangements to have it couriered to Drinax.
Yeah, I guess that's
where it is available to us if we need it.
That's a talk
and available to him if he needs it.
So we said that Redthane has 12 crew. We're sending 6.
Hopefully they've been a little bit dealt with by put a little loopy by the things that we're going to do to their life support.
Yeah. I know. I'm just my brain keeps going to worst case scenario, and you guys be. Oh, I guess you. I mean, in that case, you guys would also have. You would also have Eerie with you as well. And I can't imagine that they're as good fighters as you guys, honestly.
Hopefully, we're catching them unprepared. Also.
Yeah. Yeah. If anything, it's they're going to have to deal with a sudden assault on their ship. Okay. So I guess let me think this out loud. Vim, you handled the inspection of the Bloody Elf.
Should I bring
take whatever
Sparky with me, sir,
you take
so he could see if he could pilot it.
Take whatever personnel you need.
Okay, Mr. Sparky, if you would come with me.
I follow.
And also, if you could, Mr. Sven, I think I am in need of a security chief.
All right. I want to have one more last word just with Captain and Andrew, please.
Of course, sir.
All right. Does this but before you guys leave? This makes sense, right? Like, We transfer some personnel around. We have a really good assault team. We primarily go for engineer's plan. We fall on part of Veronica's plan if it backfires. The risk it has the least personnel risk to the crew, where we're risking one person instead of several, at least at the beginning. And even if it comes down to a fight, we have a pretty good chance of still getting through with it. So, does anyone have any problems with this plan? Okay.
Not that I can think of.
All right. So,
no, Captain.
Okay, that's what we'll decide to do then. So, let us talk to Sven, and then you guys can do what you guys need to do.
All right. So the scene with you and Sven first, and then we'll go on to Urian and his ship.
Okay. So just expressing some concerns over how that battle went with the Misery's company crew, or the lack of battle, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They were fully prepared and potentially even itching for a fight. And as soon as they saw Krish, they were taunting that, so they were pushing towards that fight.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, they became friendly. Did that strike anybody else as odd?
No, it did. I think in my log, I literally said that you could see that guy's like his decision making tree abruptly went a different direction.
So my thought here is,
yeah, it's I chalked it up to. I mean, I think they realized that that we
Maybe
were
he's just a coward. We know nothing about this person.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
Yeah,
the extreme change between those two modes.
Yeah,
tells me that either we're being set up. There's a spy here somewhere that's not who we think he is, and we need to especially watch our two new guests pretty closely. But we also need to be ready for some duplicitous behavior from Misery's company.
You're talking to a former spy, and you've said nothing that I wouldn't encourage anyway. Like, sure, we keep an eye on them. That's kind of a given. For the assertion of one of them being a spy, that needs a considerable amount of proof.
Right. And of course, the security chief, that's what I'm looking for, is the safety of my crew first.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly okay. Like, we want them to prove themselves as solid crew. When you say a couple of them, you mean Urian and who else?
I'm sitting here staring right at him.
Are you talking about one of Krish's crew?
Sharky.
Oh.
Sharky Shark.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't trust Sharky?
Because we don't know anything about him other than he's a little goofy.
Yeah. I think he's just really happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that right in front of Sharky?
Well, no, Sharky. Like, we kicked everyone out.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah, we kicked everyone out. I don't necessarily share your concerns about Sharky, but I absolutely do about Urian.
Though that would be a good spy cover.
Yeah, I would. I think my distrust of Urian, I think that he's a really good loose cannon. That if we can figure out which way to tilt him, he could be an asset to the crew. And I think he's eager to prove himself to us. And I absolutely believe that he's hiding something from us. And it's the hiding stuff from us that worries me. Once we get past that, I think actually he could be a pretty good crew member.
He's very eager to prove himself, which makes me a little uneasy.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a new job, you know.
Yeah, but he's got all those shiny toys. Why he would want to join a crew scares me.
Well, he told Andrew and I that he wanted revenge against his government. There's some kind of weird geopolitical something or other.
Yeah. I'm not sure that you do that by joining another crew. Well, you do that very stealthily
Yeah.
from the inside.
Well, I also told him last time, like, that his problems with his government are literally none of our business. So I'd
Right.
like, Anyway, I say we give Yuri a chance to, prove himself useful. Maybe he opens up a little bit more about what he's hiding, and I think that'll be fine. Though
Absolutely.
I've written down. I mean, I've got your concerns on record, so I appreciate it.
Yep, that's my job too.
Okay, well, moving on to the next scene. Urian, you get a notification on your console that you have visitors
Beep boop. Beep
waiting.
boop. Beep boop. That's the sound it makes.
Okay. I'll open the door.
Actually, it probably has it. Given that ship, it's probably more of a Jarvis.
But yeah, he'll
waiting outside.
You have
Right.
you have visitors.
Yeah, actually, could it be like a Jarvis that says there are meat bags waiting outside?
Oh, like an HK
Sure,
Dread.
so you could have a customized voice. So hold on a second. You have meat bags waiting outside, sir.
Ah, thank you, computer. And I'll go. Actually, could it be like an Alexa voice?
He did not
Good
like
luck
your.
on eliminating them, sir.
I mean, thanks, computer. And I'll go. Open the door.
I like how Richard was
Wait,
like, "Here's a custom voice," and you're like, "I don't like it. Can I have something else?"
Sorry, Richard.
No worries. Yeah, it will notify you that there are a number of skulls waiting for you outside.
Oh, cool, awesome. I'll be like, hey, thanks, computer, and I'll go open the door for them.
Okay. You will see. You will see. So it's Vim, Sharky, Sven, and anybody else. April, are you going along?
No, I think that's fine.
Veronica's gonna
Okay.
be here too, right?
No, Veronica didn't come on this one. Just these three.
Okay. I'll be like, oh, hey, what you all doing here?
Well, I guess I'm supposed to be flying this fancy thing.
What?
I'm just imagining that Urian's face, like, literally, like, kind of falls abat and does answer, like, what?
Tilts his head. Let's say again.
Yeah, like, come again?
Vim steps forward and says, "Sir, the captain of the Gani Makor, Ukluna Enks, long may he serve, has declared that this ship will be used in the plan, and we are modifying engineer's plan so that after you are dispensed from your ship, Mr. Sharky Sparks here will be piloting it in along with Veronica's strike team."
Okay. Do you know how to pilot a ship like this, Sharky? Sparky. Sharky or Sparky?
It's Sharky.
All right. Do you know how to pilot a ship like this, Sharky?
Sharky closes his eyes and he sniffs in the air. I believe I know how to pilot this thing perfectly. And he goes straight to the cockpit.
Okay.
I rolled an 11 on recon.
Okay. Rolling an 11 on recon, you actually do smell where he's been on this ship. The ship itself smells fairly immaculate, except for his kind of like faint smell. As you walk through the corridor, it is very well lit. It is very clean in here, and with that recon roll, you spy multiple little like cleaning robots skittering from walls, keeping everything well appointed.
How big are these robots?
Like the size of spiders.
Can I try to pick one up and put it in my pocket?
You can attempt to. Yeah. That would be, let's say, a dexterity check.
Okay, so
your dexterity is 10.
2d6 plus 1.
Yep. +1. So 2d6 +1.
9.
Okay. You reach down and you pick one up. Now this is going to be a question for Sean. Sean,
Yes.
how would you have programmed your technology on the ship for tampering?
Like you program it more like how a piece of your property would react.
Would it be more zappy zap, bitey bite, or like explodey?
So I think for like the cleaning robots, I would say like once they get picked up, they probably deliver like how like when with Batman's mask, when someone tries to like take it off, like it shocks them unconscious.
Okay, so zappy zap.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, so Sharky, you will get zapped.
Can I try to warn him first? Actually,
can I use my animal handling? You said it's like a little spider.
No, but it is in fact a robot. So it will, as you try to hold it in your hand, it'll deliver a little shock to you.
That 12's not a little shock.
Hmm?
Mighty Marvel 12. I was like, that's not a little shock. I thought you.
Oh no, that was Monty rolling animal handling. Despite the fact that you're treating it like the spiders that you normally would on your home planet, and they wouldn't bite you in that case, this ornery little critter lets out a little bolt of electricity and zaps your poor paw.
Yeah. Oh, and I throw it to the ground.
It skitters away.
And then it blows up.
And destroys the ship.
Right.
And then three other spider robots come and tear it apart in malicious glee as they clean it up.
I'm gonna walk over to Sparky after he throws my robot on the ground and be like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe don't pick up my stuff, please."
Sorry, I was just trying to help clean up all the spiders around here.
These aren't
back
spiders.
in the farm. Oh, they're not.
Sophisticated cleaning robots.
Oh, they look like sophisticated web layers to me.
You know what? Maybe I should pilot the ship, and then you can pilot it once we get there.
We need you to.
Well, I'm afraid you're gonna have to ask the captain about this. He said, "Sharky, you fly that thing, and you don't let anyone else but you fly that thing. Word for word, I promise."
Captain. Hey, Captain.
Are you calling me?
Are you gonna progress to the cockpit now, Sharky? While he's distracted.
I walk past. Hey, I'm the pilot. I have ship shares.
Not for my ship, you don't.
Ship share.
Yeah, ship share. This is what I'm saying.
He's gonna call the captain.
Right. So So you get to the cockpit. It is completely immaculate. You can see through the window the bay of the skull port that you're currently in. But one of the things is the room itself is completely empty as you enter.
Empty being what? Like devoid of like little tchotchkes on the wall? Or
no,
there's no place to sit?
There's no place to sit. It's just, the floor and the walls just gleaming metal.
Okay. Can I do recon again?
Sure.
7.
You don't know what the heck is going on here. This looks like a cockpit, but there's no damn controls.
Okay, so Sharky looks around a little bit, and then he walks back out to Uriel, and he goes, Eureka, on second thought, why don't I watch you do it like 1 or 2 times, and then I'll be able to do it like 1 or 2 times. You can give me pointers.
Okay.
Deal?
Sure. Also, for anyone who needs it, the head's that way. I point to like a door, and then I'd be like, "This is my room. No one goes inside under any circumstances." And then yeah, I'll go inside to the cockpit.
Okay, going into the cockpit, it responds to you and your suit going in. So you stride right in. Is Sharky just coming in right behind you?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
so it responds to your suit, and as you walk into the middle of a room, a floor panel comes up, and a chair forms and perfectly molds itself to you and your suit, connecting your suit directly into it. A vast array of holographic controls come right across your vision, and you can see at your fingertips. But at the moment, Sharky, all you see is the chair come up and nothing else. You are only seeing the holographic controls, Urian, through your helmet.
Okay, gotcha.
Is it on yet?
Yes, it's wired in. It's into my. It's you see it through my armor. You won't be able to fly this unless you're wearing my armor.
Oh, well, take it off then. Come on.
No,
Wait, is that true?
yeah.
Like, there's no
I
way
thought you were
that.
willing to bear all for this team. You were saying that earlier in the meeting.
Right,
So, bear it.
So Sean, you do know that if you take measures, you could allow permission for another pilot to be on and to connect everything, but so far you have it set on pretty high privacy.
okay, gotcha. So I'll do that. I'll be like, okay, computer, allow Sharky here to also pilot for like a limited time or something, maybe, right?
For a 20-minute trial period.
Right.
Take it out to Jupiter and
All
back.
of a sudden, as permissions are granted to you, suddenly you hear a steady hum grow a bit louder, and you can see the holographic controls that are in front of Urian. Stepping away from the chair, Urian, you can inform Sharky if you want to that his control will be limited to the physical to the holographic controls that he could see, but generally speaking, you can pilot your ship pretty well because you could control it directly from your suit.
Okay.
If you want to tell him that, but you don't have to.
Oh, I gotcha.
You should actually just pretend to tell me that I have control of it and just keep piloting it from your seat
Yeah.
the entire time.
I'll do that. I'll be like, yeah, so you got control now. Like, yeah, you can pilot it now, I tell him.
Okay, so Sharky has been bullshitting his way up until this point and is now terrified that he's in
Give
control.
Sharky an unplugged Mario Kart controller.
And he's doing everything in his power to not make it change from course, so he's not going to notice that he doesn't have control.
Well, remember, this is parked in a bay right now.
Yeah, he's not trying to take off. So.
Okay. Do you want to roll piloting to see what you can make of these controls?
No. Because I already said I fully understood how to fly this thing earlier.
Well, you don't have to share that information with. But you will have to fly this thing in the future, so you better make sure that you can ahead of time.
It's true, but Sharky also told Sharky that he knew how to pilot this ship already. So
Fake it till you make it, right?
exactly.
Also, when I sat down, this song started playing in the throughout the ship.
It's a silent song.
Right?
I was about
Is
to
it-
say,
is
please
it
don't
like
play
one of
any
those-
songs. You're gonna get me in trouble.
No, I
Is
posted
it like a
this
dog
one.
whistle song so only Sharky can hear it?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Does Sharky do the thing with your ears that my dogs do when our tornado sirens go on?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So yeah, what else are you gonna? So you're looking at the controls, so you're not gonna actually do a roll to see if you can figure out how to pilot this thing.
No, I'm gonna do that literally right before I have to pilot this thing. That's okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Hey, cool. So how long are you gonna BS in front of the console?
Let's say like 10-ish minutes, and I am gonna be pressing buttons. But
I'm
you
gonna
know, since they're not connected to anything, no harm, no foul.
be.
But I'm
So are the buttons connected or not connected, Sean?
No, they're not. I have a
Sharky,
disconnected Mario Kart controller.
Just fucking.
I think Sean was joking about that, but so you might actually end up doing something.
Firing torpedoes.
Initiating self-destruct.
No,
I rolled a 7, so
I have everything kind of like in my helmet. So like anything.
Oh well,
like,
it would actually be 2d6 plus 2 because of your +1 in dexterity as well.
Okay, 8.
So an 8. So this is the fanciest, smallest, weirdest little ship you've ever been on. You think that you might be able to pilot it, but you definitely don't recognize most of the technology on board.
It's a little uppity, you know, and I distrust it because of that.
no, I wouldn't know.
It's got City Slicker written all over it.
Anyway, I'll be like, okay, so this is how you start it, and I'm gonna run him through everything, and I'll be like, so we good? I'm just gonna pilot it while he's like doing stuff.
Oh yeah, we good. I can't wait to take this puppy out.
So let's go then, right?
Are we good to go? We're going now.
Gunny McClure needs at least a day yet.
Yes, and Mr. Sven, shouldn't we do an inspection of this entire ship before we entrust a large portion of our crew to stay aboard it?
I think so, yeah. Need to inspect the areas where the strike team will be working in the ship, what they'll be working with, who they'll be working. Well, I guess there's no who, I guess, is there?
Just Sharky.
Which is making me pretty nervous.
This is a great plan already.
So, Urian, are you a little bit nervous to give Sven free reign of your ship?
A little bit, just because of what he might find.
Well, we were told one room to stay out of. We can respect that.
Okay, but yeah, besides that though, then yes, they have free reign.
I'm gonna warn Sven to not pick up the little spiders. They're not actually spiders.
Just gonna look at him like, really? Okay, thank you.
Okay. So for Sven, I guess this would be a recon check for you.
Oh, this ought to be fun.
Is this untrained? Let me see.
It is.
Ah, and you don't have a positive to it. Okay, so 2d6 minus 3.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
I'm just wandering the halls. I'm impressed. Okay.
Yeah, this looks like a very clean, advanced-looking ship. In fact, let me see for a second here. Sean, do you want to roll for your character kind of like distracting him on given points.
Distracting Sharky?
No,
No,
Sven, as he does his inspection.
Oh, you got a 2?
So,
yeah,
so,
can that
so,
what kind of distraction?
so,
do you do?
so in this case for you, it would be 2d6 plus 3 to distract him as he's doing this.
I think he's sufficiently distracted himself.
8.
Jeez.
Okay. So yeah, as you're going along, you're able to kind of like easily distract Sven by like, oh yeah, look at this advanced system here, this advanced system here, like completely getting him past some of the more unusual bits of tech that are aboard your ship.
I notice you have a floor.
So you show him like your engine room. You show him you know your main systems. Is there anything in particular that you want to keep secret?
Yes, my room.
Your room, and probably as well your let me see.
Your what, Sean?
Your yeah. Like you could look under special features for your ship, and there probably is there anything under the special features of your ship that you want revealed to Sven?
Oh, you mean
With
on the
the roll?
cards, like the notable features thing?
Let me see. Did I give you the notable features of his ship?
Yeah, it's on his card.
Okay. So yeah, so are you going to keep like the secure internal quantum encrypted data vault secret, like the psionic dampening field secret?
Yeah,
Now
probably.
you're just making up words, Richard. Come on.
Probably everything under special features he'll keep secret.
Okay. So yeah, so basically, Sven, you are satisfied that the ship is operational and you haven't spotted anything that looks suspicious.
That's just bad for the security chief.
Maybe Urian should be the security. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
One
I
day
watch
Urian
the
will
water.
all the chiefs.
Yeah, I'm gonna start training in that recon, but yeah, that's a ways off yet.
You're like the standard Starfleet security chief, just on one of the random star bases that they have to go to rescue.
Well, I certainly didn't graduate beyond the red shirt so far.
That's not true. You and Krish killed Maria Silverhands.
Well, I didn't do it in
whatever you lacked in recon, you guys pulled off in stealth. So
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the inspection I guess passes. You know what? I'm gonna roll for Vim just in case.
God damn it! I rolled for Vim.
what was Vim rolling there?
Recon.
Can I choose what he finds?
Actually, no. With that 9, which was above your 8. So as you're going past the computer core, you're chatting up Sven and everything. Vim kind of stops and kind of like his eyes narrow. And hold on.
Does he find the continuum transfunctioner?
He points at it and is like, wait, that's not part of your computer core, but it's connected. It's some sort of. It looks like a.
My Spotify playlist.
It looks like a memory system, but I don't recognize it.
Yeah, it's for my music.
It looks pretty secure though. The metals that it's made out of.
Yeah, my music is really personal to me. I keep it under lock and key.
So Vim is pointing this out directly now. Does Sven have any tech abilities?
Vim blew this whole fucking thing wide open, didn't he?
Oh no, Sven doesn't have any electronics or engineering abilities.
The Sharky.
You do have mechanic, though.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, you can roll mechanic if you want to inspect this thing.
Okay. It's +1, right?
Actually, no, it's +2. You have mechanic 2.
Okay. Oh. Let's try that. Oh.
Oh, okay. Looking at it, it does seem to be like heavily reinforced right here, and in fact, it's almost kind of like a black box in some case, but not like any black box that you've ever seen. It seems to have like its own redundancies built in as well for its like powering system. So it's non-standard.
This looks a little more than just my playlist.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you open that up, you're gonna die. Not by me. It's gonna explode. It's set to my biometrics.
A little bit like the spider cleaning robots, huh?
Yes, I take my privacy very serious.
Is that actually true?
Maybe, maybe not.
Is Sharky Sparks here for this conversation? Or
Sure,
is
you
he
could-
still...
You could have been following around.
Is your music really that explosive, sir?
Yes, yes, it is.
You'll have to put on a playlist for me when we're doing our mission.
No one wants to
Oh,
do
don't
a
worry.
deception challenge on that.
Me? Yeah, I can. It's my
Okay, so
deception.
Urian for deception would be let me look at this deception. So yeah, 2d6 plus 2.
Okay. 9.
You sound pretty convincing.
Yeah, I'm convinced. I'm really looking forward to that playlist.
Does he convince Vim?
Oh
though?
my.
Vim says, "Well, thank you for opening up your trip to us, Urian.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure the captain will probably have us do the transfer of personnel when we get in system. Otherwise, it might be a bit cramped on this ship because I didn't see any other signs of any other beds here. Correct?
Yeah, there's only one bed, mine.
That's quite unusual for a ship this size to only have one bed.
Actually, wait. I think Richard, does it have only one bed? I can't remember. Sorry.
It does.
Okay, yeah. So yep, just one bed. Well, like I like my space, and I like having space, if that makes sense. Well, in space. So
It's just you don't have much in the way of redundancy here, sir.
well, yeah, but I mean, you don't need redundancy when you're good.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, sir. Well,
Yes, either.
well, thank you again, and we'll head back to our ship.
Okay, sounds good.
You're gonna be like me every single time I have company and they finally leave.
He's just gonna like.
I'm just
after
like,
they
oh,
leave,
thank fuck.
He's just gonna like. He's gonna like just like, because he's like a pretty extreme introvert.
Immediately take your pants off. Thank God.
Yeah, pretty
The gut
much.
comes out.
Yeah.
So Sven and Sharky, as you're leaving, Vim just kind of shivers and is like, that was kind of weird. Him saying that system would explode if we tried to investigate it.
I suspect there's a number of things in there that if we really tried to investigate, it would explode.
He probably just needs more memory, My older brother had that problem on our computer. He was running out of space all the time putting music on it. So
I see. Well, it makes me quite curious who Urian Rakarth really is.
and what kind of music he's into.
Okay, so we are. When do we want to wrap up?
Right now, yeah, right now would be our. Well, is there anything? Do we have like a coda to kind of tack on the end?
I think that comment by Vim can act as it. He's wondering who Urian Rakarth really is. As you all prepare for your final day aboard the Skull Highport before your sojourn on Redthane, the crew all seemingly has a plan that is going forward. But, how many plans fall by the wayside once it meets action? So thank you all for tonight's session of Gungans and Dragons, Pirates of Drinax Edition.
Yeah. So if you're still here, thanks for sticking with us through the whole session. It sounds like we're probably not playing next week, but I think we're gonna have something for you on Sunday anyway. So come and check us out at 7:30. Otherwise, I'll be seeing whoever for Battlefront on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So